Hello everyone, this is Shad with PolyNerdic. I know this is the first time you've actually seen video of me. I finally got my webcam configured properly, and I'm going to try something new with this one. I spent part of today taking a look at the 5 games I have chosen for Extra Life, and I wanted to properly introduce them, give you guys a couple minutes to see them in case you're unfamiliar with them, and then hopefully get some viewer/reader feedback on what I need to play. If you missed the list, I'll post a link somewhere in this general vicinity, and you can click the link to go straight to the article I posted about it. But without further ado, here are the 5 games I am thinking about playing for Extra Life on November 7th. Also, in that link I posted here, you'll see information about donation, which would be really appreciated because it is for a very good cause, being the Children's Hospitals of Cincinnati. Any donation that you can muster would be great. But here we go. Here are the 5 games I've chosen to play on November 7th for Extra Life. Up first is BanjoKazooie, a Nintendo 64 era classic that I missed out on in my youth because I just wasn't into these kind of games back then, much like earlier this year when I played Conker's Bad Fur Day. I missed out on it again when it was released on the Xbox 360, but now, thanks to the genius that is the Rare Replay collection that came out a couple months ago, I now have all these old games that I've never played but always wanted to. And I figure with this Extra Life marathon, this would be a good game, because from what I understand, despite being a collectathon, it is a good, fun, entertaining game. And with this 24-hour marathon that I'm attempting, a game like this that has some legs to it, could occupy a good deal of that if it's selected as the the top choice. I'm operating under a system of, if the top choice ends up not being as entertaining as I expected it to, or I get super stuck or frustrated with it, I can default to the number 2 game and then on down the line. My goal is to play as much of these games as I can, but if one game ends up being really fun and I end up playing it for most of the marathon, that's what it'll be. But that's your first choice, BanjoKazooie, originally for the Nintendo 64, now remastered, playing the 360 version on the Xbox One. Option number 2 is Far Cry 4, a first-person shooter / action-adventure game released in 2014. I was an enormous fan of Far Cry 3, and even though the story wasn't the greatest, the gameplay was amazing. And from what I've read and heard, this one is everything that was great about 3 with an improved story. The little bit I played of it this morning to record this was a blast. I'm looking forward to playing this. I'm hoping it's one of the favorite games that you guys choose, because I'd like to play it as part of the marathon. Regardless, it will be streamed eventually, because it's just, these games are just that much fun, using the environment like these predatory animals to kill bad guys, or just straight up shooting them. But like I said, Far Cry 3 was a ton of fun. I look forward to playing this one way or the other. I hope it's a part of the Extra Life marathon though, and I really hope you guys agree with me on that. Option number 3 is Grabbed by the Ghoulies, a 3D platformer / adventure / comedic horror game where you control this young man, I'm sorry I don't know his name, as he navigates a haunted house, fighting off various imps and ghouls in an effort to rescue his friend / sister. Again, not sure on the lore of this game, but it was fun, the little sample I played of it, to record this video. I think it would make a great Extra Life stream if so chosen. It would also make a great Halloween themed stream, so maybe if I have a definitive game in mind beforehand, I might stream this before Halloween for a little while, just to get in touch with the season that we're in. But regardless, option number 3, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Take a look at this, see what you think. Option number 4 is another game off the excellent Rare Replay collection, It's a 3D platform puzzler called Cameo, The Elements of Power. I first saw this game years ago in a department store being used as a demo station to show off the Xbox 360, and I thought it was interesting looking at the time, but I never got around to actually playing it. In it, you play as a elven princess who can shapeshift into one of 3 different creatures, at least early on in the game. A spiked armadillo thing, a yeti-ish kind of creature, and a plant that punches things. So it's got its own kind of comedic sensibility. Again, it's a cutesy game, but it's also, kind of difficult. It wasn't a kid's game by any escape of the imagination, and I found it pretty enjoyable. Again, when I put this little thing together, I think it would also make a good streaming game. I'm not sure how long it is. I'm not sure of the length of it. I know the previous game, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, has about a 10 to 11 hour time frame, which would be almost half of the Extra Life Marathon. But also a solid option. I feel confident that each of these 5 games brings their own bit of fun to the stream and will be worth both playing and viewing for those that choose to stop by and watch the stream. But so there you go. There's option for Cameo, Elements of Power. And that brings me to the final option I have to present to you guys for the Extra Life charity event. It is Lord of the Rings: Shadows of Mordor, a third-person action game that plays a whole lot like a medieval fantasy version of the Arkham series by Rocksteady. No surprise, this is also a Warner Brothers game. It's set obviously in the Lord of the Rings universe, but instead of what the past Lord of the Rings games have done, being rehashes of the movies or books, this is a whole new character with a whole new story, at least to my knowledge, not one that's ever been covered before. And from what I've seen so far, it's an interesting story that will translate really well to a stream if this game is chosen. And there you have it, 5 amazing games for you to choose from for me to play on the Extra Life event on November 7th, 2015. BanjoKazooie, Far Cry 4, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Cameo, Elements of Power, and Lord of the Rings: Shadows of Mordor. Each and every one of those games, I feel, will make for an amazing and entertaining stream. All I need from you guys is to comment below and tell me what you want to see me play. I will more than gladly make the choice for myself, but I really want to know what you guys want me to play. So please tell me below what you want to see, and be there on November 7th, 2015, when I fire up the stream for what I hope to be a 24-hour marathon. I know I haven't said what time I'll start yet. That's coming in the future once I figure out some things with my schedule, but the aim is a full 24-hour marathon. So you may see more than one of those games depending on how long the games are. Just remember the date, and please donate if you can. The links are below and in the earlier link I provided at the beginning of the video. Any donations can help. It's definitely for a good cause, donating to children's hospitals, specifically here in the Cincinnati area. Thank you, and I hope you will donate and watch.